Good morning and welcome. I'm Celeste and this is my FlossTube channel, Celeste Creates. Today is Friday, June 18th already. It's been about 3 weeks since I filmed my last FlossTube and this is FlossTube number 21. We are trucking right along. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad that you're here. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back for some more fun, and if you're new to my channel, I'm so glad you're here. And today I've got some good stitchy show and tell, as my kids call it, to share with you. I've got some finishes and a little bit of whip, but most of my whips were finishes. And got a giveaway at the end that I'm gonna show you the winners from last time. And a teeny bit of haul. I've been really trying to rein it in a little bit, but got all that in store for you today. So, like I said, it's been about 3 weeks since I last filmed. I filmed that last one outside on my back patio. Thank you, everyone, for all your kind comments and just your reassurance that you enjoyed the outside video. And I enjoyed making it. It was really nice for a change. Today, I'm back in my normal spot. But it was lovely. It was really nice 3 weeks ago to film that. Now, in the last 2 weeks, per Houston weather, it is just like all of a sudden gone from pleasant enough, which was pretty nice about 3 weeks ago, to really hot. So sometimes it just really seems like it changes on a dime. Like you've been going all spring and it's really pleasant and we're really enjoying it and it's not too bad yet. And then at some point, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, now it's hot, now it's summer, and now it's hot. So in the last couple of weeks, that change has happened, and so I might not be filming outside again until September. I don't know, it's still hot in September. October, maybe? We can hope. Unless we have a fluke and we get a nice bit of weather. But for the most part, I'll be back inside for a little while. But I did enjoy that. So thank you all for your sweet comments. And one thing I had so many comments on, I had a lot of comments because I had advertised a giveaway, right? So I'll choose those winners later. But I also had a lot of comments about my wind chimes outside. And so the story on those is that they're these beautiful wind chimes from a company called Music of the Spheres. Sphere like a ball. And I will run their website across the bottom here because it's www.musicofspheres.com, I think, but I'll put it down here at the bottom. But Music of the Spheres wind chimes, and they are absolutely beautiful. My mom bought me my first one, I think in our first house, so it may be as much as 15 years old or more. She had them, and it was a gift for a Mother's Day or a birthday, I don't know, and I had that hanging up at our other house. And I can't remember if she bought me the second one before we moved here or after, but they're neat because they're musical. They are musical notes. And so then there's some of their wind chimes, there's pairings, ones that sound musically very pretty together. And so she bought me a second one, and it coordinates musically with the first one that she bought for me. And so I have both of those hanging in the backyard, and they are really they are one of my treasures. I love those wind chimes. I'd like to buy a third. I haven't gotten to do that yet. They're a little pricey, but obviously they've lasted a really long time, and they're just beautiful. They're beautiful to listen to, and so thank y'all for all your comments about that. So let me know if you go to the website and get one. I love them. I think they're fabulous. So Music of the Spheres wind chimes. And that's my oldest son leaving for work. My oldest, he's home from college this summer, and he is working 40 hours a week. Nice hours, but 40 hours a week at Freddy's, flipping burgers and frying fries. So he's always loved burgers. So I think it's really funny that that's what he gets to do, you know, 40 hours a week. But anyway, and then in the last couple weeks, my daughter's gotten a job at a local tea room, and she's also gotten the opportunity to sing there. They have a wine lounge on the weekend, and so she's gotten to do that. So I have 2 kids working. We're finishing up a little bit of school, getting ready for all the summer things that are coming up. My youngest is going to a camp. We've got some different fun vacation type activities planned in the next couple months, and then we're also preparing to send my daughter off for her first year of college at Benedictine. And then of course sending my oldest back for his 3rd, 4th year. It's he's technically a junior, but he'll graduate in the spring. And so yeah, we've just been busy and enjoying it. We had graduation. We had a graduation party. It has felt wonderful here. All the mask mandates everywhere have eased up, and things are at capacity. And it has just felt so lovely to get out and be with people and have gatherings, and just feels really normal, and it's been so enjoyable. So anyway, I think that's all we've been up to. I'm sure it seems like a lot more because there's always something going on, right? So anyway, I think first I'm going to share with you a couple of finishes and a little bit of whips and plans, and we'll do announce the giveaway towards the end. So let's get started on the finishes I've had. So lately it just hit me. I felt in a very patriotic stitching mood, and so I've been busy with that, and now I'm kind of ready to get back to samplers and some of my other bigger projects. But I've had a lot of fun working on patriotic stuff and having that ready for, one of them was ready for Memorial Day weekend, and then of course coming up here July 4th. So I've been a bit more monogamous in my stitching lately, I guess because I've had a few smalls or medium-sized. Here comes a sneeze. Okay, back from my sneeze. As usual, I think it was a video or 2 ago, somebody commented that, oh, you didn't sneeze this time, which that's a rarity. Okay, so what I've been up to. The last time I filmed a video was the day before my friend April and I got together. I think I actually published it on that Friday after we got together, because I had a stitched a gift for her that I wanted to give her that day. So then I filmed it, and then we got together, and then I put my video on FlossTube. But that day that we got together, which was, oh gosh, the 28th. It was right before Memorial Day, or right after Memorial Day. I forget. We got together on the 28th. And one of the things, we'd been trying to get together for weeks, and things just kept happening. And so we had been stitching together the Salute to Abigail. Just looking for my book here. Salute to Abigail from Sweet Land of Liberty. It's this one up here in the corner. There it is. She did hers in silks, and I did mine in some cottons that I had chosen. So I already showed you the mostly finished project, and then she and I got together. We had been stitching this together. She and I got together, and we put our last stitches in together, which was like 12 stitches. But so we finished it that day, and then I had this frame ready that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I was cutting it pretty close on my margins. I guess I hadn't expected to get this big a frame, but you can see, I haven't even put anything on the back yet. You can see the how slim I got there on the margins, but it worked. It worked. It's good. I guess I should cover that. Anyway, this is just a Hobby Lobby frame that had something in it, and of course in true Celeste fashion, I had my son knock that out, and now I've got this wonderful piece framed. This is done on a raw natural linen, and then I just love how, you know, there isn't a ton, there's more blue and red in this piece, but there's those little pops of white, and I really love how with the natural linen, this white frame just makes things pop. And so I'm really happy with that. I think it's this A and the period that April and I put in together on that day we got together. So I'm super happy to have that done and framed. It's been hanging up downstairs since before Memorial Day, and I just love it. A lot of fun. So that is Salute to Abigail by Blackbird Designs. All done, finished, up on the wall. All right, so then after that, like I said, I was still feeling pretty darn patriotic. And I had gathered, I bought this book. Most of you have probably seen this already, The Souvenirs of Summer. That was a re-release by Blackbird Designs. So I had bought this and probably showed it to you before. I think I even talked about the fact that I wanted to, there's a couple I want to stitch in here, but that the first one I had wanted to stitch was this summer's souvenir. And so I had picked out my colors, and it actually only calls for 3 colors. So it called for, I think, Raspberry Parfait is the red. The blue was, the blue was Dolphin by Weeks Dye Works, Raspberry Parfait by Gentle Arts, and then everything else, so the leaves, the letters that you see were all maple syrup by Gentle Arts. I'm so bad. Okay, hold on. Right, Gentle Arts, maple syrup. Yes, Gentle Arts, maple syrup. So the leaves and all of this was supposed to be maple syrup. Well, my maple syrup was pretty brown, and I look at the picture and I don't see tons of brown, but I like the maple syrup. And I think they even had you stitch maybe the alphabet in 2 strands of floss, and I was doing mine on 36, and so I just really wasn't going to do that. So I went to my stash and I pulled out burlap, which I forget what burlap is, whether it's Weeks or Gentle Arts, but y'all can probably figure that one out. And it was still brown. It still felt like the colors were the right tone, but it gave it a little bit of green. So what I ended up doing, I stitched it in, it didn't take me long, maybe, 8 or 10 days. And then this is just, well, here's my whole finish. Woohoo. This is stitched on a piece of vintage country mocha, 36 count. So the red is the Raspberry Parfait, the blue is the Dolphin, and then the letters, all the letters in the middle is 1 strand of maple syrup, so you can see that they're brown, more brown. And then the burlap I used on all the leaves, and I think I did this date down here. And it just had a hint more green, but it wasn't so green that it kind of ruined the effect of the piece. I just love this sampler. I love those leaves. I love the banner intertwined there. Everything about this when I saw this was like, that's the one I'm stitching first. So we got that done. It is mounted on a piece of foam core with a little bit of batting. Laced that. And I found this tray. In the spring section at Hobby Lobby. You can see the tag. It was like $6, and spring stuff's either 40. I think it's 50% off now. And we've got the lovely, hilarious label. Only put packaged or wrapped foods on here. Okay. Not sure I want to know why. So that was in the spring section. So I bought this tray and mounted this on the foam core, laced it. And then this is a piece of mat board that I covered with some blue fabric that I had in my stash. And I usually don't think a whole lot about my finishes. I'm pretty quick to finish things and make the decision about how I want to do it. But this one I had to think a little bit harder on because I knew it wasn't, the piece itself wasn't, it was going to leave more on the sides if I put it on this tray. So at some point playing with it, I'd covered this board and I made it big enough that it sits in the tray real well. And excuse me. And that's when I decided, I think I'm going to offset it. And I tried a couple different things for the side, and some were just really tacky. But I ended up using a bias tape maker and this cute little stripe fabric. I think this is a Bonnie and Camille stripe. Made a piece of bias tape with the bias tape makers. If you've never seen those, I'll show those in a quilty tube. Lori Holt uses them all the time. Glued this down, glued the blue on the back, folded it over on mat board with Aleene's. Glued this on with the Aleene's tacky glue. And then I used some hot glue to just attach some buttons that I had in my stash. The blue board and the stitch piece are hot glued. So this is hot glued to the tray, and this is hot glued to the board. So I think if I ever decide that I want to change it up a little bit, I know, hot glue is, especially my hot glue, it's never like terribly sticky, but that I could change it up if I wanted to. But anyway, this is my finish. I had a lot of fun doing this. I really like how it turned out, and it's sitting, I have it on an easel, a little table in the kitchen area, and I'm just thrilled with it. I love it. So if you haven't made plans to stitch this one, go stitch it. It went really fast and it was a lot of fun. So that is Summer Souvenir from the Summer Souvenir from the Souvenirs of Summer book. All right, next, let me put that back here. I'll put it over here. All right, so then I finished that, and I was having, like I said, a lot of fun with Patriotic stuff and ready to put up a Patriotic display. And so I first got out some of the little things that I had made last year. I think Cynthia Brewster Cynthia Stitching in the Light, sweet friend Cynthia, she had put out these Chestnut Junction little pattern. It was real cheap to do some these little stuffed stars. I think Kim Lehman from Barbara's Daughter had done some. So I made these last year and had them out, and they're just really fun. And then this I had made. I made this last year, and it has just been sitting next to my stitching chair because it's patriotic, but it's also chickens. Anyway, so I had that already. And then what else had I made? I had made this little quilted pin pillow last year, and it was also sitting by my stitching chair. This is a house block from one of Lori Holt's books. I think it's the Second Farm Girl Vintage. This little bitty house is actually, there's 4 houses in the actual block. So if you make a 6-inch block that has the 4 houses, then each of the houses is this size. So I'd made this little tiny 3-inch house block last year and made this cute little pin pillow. And it's actually been sitting, like I said, with my next to my stitching chair. So I was thinking, well, I'd really like to make another small stitched piece that's patriotic. And then I was inspired on Pinterest. I really ought to stay off Pinterest by this photo. By the cute little quilted patriotic pillows. And this is one of those times when I think I'm really thankful for the quilting knowledge that I have, and access to wonderful books and patterns, and the ability to make some of these things, because I looked at that and I thought, oh, I can make several little, quilt block type pillows. So mine are a little brighter than that because I tend to like a little bit brighter colors. But I did set about making 3 more, and 3 is about the right number. I wasn't sure if I needed to make it more, but 3 little pillows to add to the collection. So here's one I made. It's just strips of fabrics from my scraps sewn in rows. There's the back, and then I put a little pin with some buttons on it, so that's one little pillow. And then I made a little pinwheel with some borders and cornerstones on it. All this is from just my scraps, and there's the back. And then I think this one I like. This might be my favorite. I made a Patriotic. This is really just 2 squares up here and a rectangle at the bottom. Pretty excited about how I got my stripes to match up. And then I had this fabric, so it just looks like a little American flag pillow. There's a piece of Lori Holt fabric on the back. So I made that one. And I threw in a strawberry for good measure. And then I started this one this past Sunday. So this is Bless Our Land from Plum Street Samplers. There's the chart. And I've had this in my stash for a while. Don't remember even where I got it or how, but it's definitely small. I did some DMC, a couple of the called for that I had. I did some substitutions with other overdyes. I used some DMC. Anyway, it was, I don't even know what to tell you. It was quite the conglomeration of flosses. Actually, here they are right here. This was all my flosses that I chose, or that I used. So that's what I did, because I didn't have the blue that they called for in the house. I think I already pulled that one out. So that was dungarees that I used on the house. So those are the flosses. And then I had a scrap of Old Weeks Tin Roof, the Old Weeks, and I just stitched it on there. And then yesterday I finished it into a pillow. So this took me about 4 or 5 days, something like that. And it's just fiber fill. It's kind of, I love it. I love how it turned out. I wish I'd given myself a little bit bigger margin around the edges, but hey, you know, it's done. So this really turned out super cute. I love the motifs on it. I love the Bless Our Land. I really like that saying, the little girl there. I love that long flag and the blue house. So like I said, this is dungarees that I had. I used a little bit of trim here and some red fabric that I had for the back and the bottom. And so this all sits, pause while I kind of get this together. I need to put a piece of fabric in the bottom of the bowl so that things aren't sliding around. And I need to find a place to put this. Anyway, pause please. I'm arranging. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that one's really cute. And we'll figure this out later, but oh, we throw a strawberry in for good measure. And I have it all in this antique stoneware bowl that my mom gave me, and it makes a really cute display. I think that's just about enough, so I don't think I have any more I want to add to this. So that's my little bowl of smalls, and that was my most recent finish, was this Bless Our Land, and I think they just look really cute together. And I think it's funny because this is a Plum Street, one of those stacks, henpeck I believe is what it's called. And then the only other thing I've really, other than quilting, which is a different video, I made myself another tomato, kind of in a tomato mood as well right now. So this is just a larger version of the tomatoes that I did a tutorial for here on my channel. And I just made myself another one because I was in the mood to make a tomato. Don't know. So those are all my finishes, and I think I have a little bit of another whip or two to show you, but then most of my stitching has been on those things. So, all right, let me get mine. All right, let's look at the whips. Really, the only other things I did in there somewhere is I started a little small. I don't have the chart. Actually, it was a PDF chart from Not Forgotten Farm. And I bought the, the PDF chart on her Etsy shop, I believe, and printed that off. And then I didn't really feel like stitching the whole piece, so I'm only stitching a part of it. because to go with my tomatoes that sit next to my stitching chair, I wanted a stitched tomato piece, and so this was the first one that I'll be stitching. And so it's called Tomato Season by Not Forgotten Farm. I'll put in a picture here of what the whole chart looks like. But this is the only part that I'm doing. I'm doing the tomato itself with just the little curlicue stem and then the bird over here. So I have all that done, the tomatoes outlined, and so this is in a bag with another project, because it reminds me that this is a great fill-in project. So if I'm taking the kids to an appointment or together with friends and really can't concentrate, or watching a movie that I actually kind of halfway want to watch, then I like a fill-in project. So this is with my other really good fill-in project, and so I have it in there, and so all I have to do really now is fill in the tomato. And I don't think I used the called for colors. I don't remember. I believe this is English Ivy, this is just a DMC, and then I didn't want such an orangey tomato, and so I am using Gentle Arts Pomegranate. I really like that one. That's my tomato color I wanted. So that's a great fill-in project, and I'm really enjoying working on that when I need to. Not in a huge hurry to finish that. So that just kind of actually stays in this bag, which has been the other thing I've worked on, which is one of my very favorites, Manor at Quaker Hill by Brenda Gervais with By Needle and Thread. I love this chart so much. So my tomato is in this bag because this is my other fill-in project lately. I've even still got my needle in it. I don't remember where I took it. I think I took it to the orthodontist, because at this point I'm still working on filling in the damn grass. And it's really not too bad. I kind of enjoy it. Again, it's really nice to have something to take with me to places where I don't have to follow a chart. I just sit there and fill in. So that's where I am on that. There is the whole project. It's as big as it is. I'm really wanting to work on this one, and so I may not always fill in grass, but work on some of the border flowers and some of the other motifs. But that's my other whip that I had this time. I love the colors on this one. The colors just make me smile every time I pull them out. I mean, look at that. I mean, you don't use that lettuce leaf much. It's not in there, but gosh, it's such a pretty pop of color in there. So that is the Manor at Quaker Hill threads, and that is on, this is a French Vanilla by R&R. It's really hard to see. I'm a mess this morning. Okay, yeah, it's a little washed out, but it is really one of my favorite linens. So that is Manor at Quaker Hill, and I'm loving that. Okay, so those are my only other whips. So what I can show you next is a teeny bit of haul, which really is pretty teeny. I've had both of these charts for a little while, and I really want to stitch them, so I think I just went ahead and purchased a bunch of the colors that I need to stitch them. One of them is When Flowers Blossom by Brenda Gervais with By Needle and Thread. Love that chart, and I do think I want to get the tray. I think Traditional Stitches still has the tray, and so I'm going to stitch that. So I put together the flosses that I need for that I didn't already have. And then another one that I actually kitted up, do this so you can actually see the chart, is from My Big Toe Cross Stitch Designs. And I've had this, and I really would like to start this sometime soon. It's called I Surrender All. So it's a line they have several charts that are hymns, or, you know, Christian praise songs, hymns, and this is one of my favorites. And so I loved the blues. I love blue, and so it's only 3 colors, and I wanted to go ahead and get those so I could start those whenever I wanted. So there's the 3 colors. It's Freedom, Old Blue Paint, and Moss. That's it. So I kitted that up. So I don't know when I'm going to start those, but they're ready to go if I want to. Another thing I kind of was kitting up from what I had is something I want to make as a gift. So this is a sweet blackbird chart called Something Sweet. So I'm going to make this for a friend. And so I kind of started, I didn't pull all the colors that were called for, but I started playing with some of the colors I wanted to use for that chart. So here's what I've chosen so far. And that'll be a start, maybe next month for a friend. Although there's a lot of over 1 words. I don't really want to do that. Okay. Last but not least, before I do the drawing, is my plan to start something now. I'm not sure I'm going to start this today, but it has been sitting in the wings, waiting. I don't know why I haven't started it yet. But I think it's time. Just stitching along. This is Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1825. It has been kitted and ready to go for months now, and I'm not sure why I've started it, because I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. So this measures 273 by 393. Yep. I have issues with big samplers. I like them. So this is ready to go in a bag. I have all, it calls for either DMC or Verssois silks, and I have all the DMCs, and they are just, I mean, my goodness, how gorgeous are those? That is just unbelievably beautiful. Why have I not started it yet? And then I have all ready to go my piece of linen. I think this is light mocha, I think. It's beautiful. So that is in my, I'm gonna start that here real soon. Maybe today. Today? Maybe? All right. So I think that's all the cross stitch stuff I have to show you. And then what I had said last time, in honor of my 20th FlossTube video, that I was gonna make 2 people each one of my bags a custom project bag in the style that I like to make. Here's an example of one. This is not one for you, this is mine, but this is the style I make. Top zipper, coordinating fabrics, pretty inside, which this one's gorgeous. And so I'm not giving it away. No, I made this one specifically for myself with some fabric that I fell in love with. So I am going to draw here in just a minute. 2 winners. You each get a project bag and one of my floss tags, which is somewhere. These are kind of my floss tags that I make to put your needle in. And so thank you for all the entries. I had bunches and bunches of entries. I think the word I had chosen was bag. So there's bag, bags. I did a drawing for those. And then it's funny because I probably could have, I just had as many comments about the wind chimes, so that actually could have been my word to pick. Anyway, I'd asked you just put in the word bag or bags, and you did. And so I chose 2 winners, and the first winner congratulations. I will comment on your comment, and you can send me an email and we can choose your fabric for your bag. And the second winner is congratulations to you too. So again, I will comment on your comment, and you can email me and we can talk about what you want your bag to look like, and I will make that and get it ready and shipped out to you, that and your floss tag to go with it. So I think that's all I have to share today. A hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks with some more to share. Hopefully that start on Miss Lucy Calcutt. And maybe a quilty tube video in the meantime, because I've also been working on some different quilting projects. And see the oven back there. I love that. Okay. But anyway, 2 weeks. I hope to be back. This was 3 weeks. Sorry, guys. Graduation, life, it just happens, right? Thank you all for joining me. I hope that you are not too hot and all your plants are not dying yet. And I'm just really thankful that you came to spend a little bit of time with me. I pray you have a blessed couple of weeks and get lots of stitching in and enjoy your summer. And I will be thinking about you all and praying for you. Have a wonderful couple of weeks. Bye.